Hello, my name is James McCauley. I'm the executive producer on Firefall here at Red 5 Studios. Firefall is a free-to-play game, and with Firefall we're trying to take free-to-play to an entirely new level. We're going bigger and more ambitious than any free-to-play game you've seen before. Here we are logging into our open world cooperative campaign, where you'll be sharing a large open world with hundreds of other players. They'll be running different missions, leveling up their equipment, advancing their technology that they can then take not only from the open world experience, but they can also take it into our competitive esports tournaments. Here we are landing in a city called Copacabana. Copacabana is a rockin' resort town, but recently, ever since the Firefall event, we've had to transform Copacabana into more of a military outpost, so you'll start to see Accord Army members showing up. We just arrived, so let's go ahead and get off this dropship. So Arrow is talking to us over radio transmission. Arrow is our handler. She's always there trying to help us. She's our operations manager. She'll be finding different activities for us to do, helping us find missions and also jobs. She just gave us a mission to actually go uplink with the city's shared intelligence network uplink. But you know what? We have arrived in Copa, and it actually looks like Copacabana is under attack by the Chosen. So our current mission is put on hold while we enter into this dynamic world event. And it is up to us as a player to choose to help out the city and to fight back the Chosen. If we don't, and no one else helps out, the city can actually fall to Chosen control, in which case we're going to lose access to all the amenities that Copacabana has to access. This is a truly dynamic event. The Chosen will not always be here. In fact, most of the time, Copa is a totally peaceful area to run around. But it just so happens that at this point in time, the Chosen are attacking, and I'm going to go help out the town. Firefall is a class-based shooter. Your class is derived by the equipment that you wear. I currently have an assault battle frame on, so you can see I'm more of a heavy-duty person. I have different abilities that allow me to get into battle quickly and to do a lot of damage. My first ability is Afterburner. I'll go ahead and fire Afterburner, which jets me forward about 20 meters. And then if there are enemies around, I could go ahead and slam down a crater, which is a massive area of effect splash damage. Looks like we've got some guys over here. I'll go ahead and head in this direction and trigger my crater. Awesome. Taking these hissers out. Now hissers are creatures that are really nasty creatures. They're kind of like roaches, and they'll actually infest our towns if we don't take them down. Here's one of the Chosen drop pods. This is really where the Chosen will actually invade the town. So it's up to me and other players to actually destroy the drop pod. Otherwise, more enemies will be spawning, and actually more difficult enemies will spawn. Eventually, we'll be surrounded by dreadnoughts as well as these assault Chosen, and we'll actually lose control of the town. So let's do our best to fight these guys. I'm able to switch between first and third person, no problem, using the middle mouse button. This allows me to change based on situation. So in this case, I really want to focus on my aiming and make sure I'm getting the targets. But in some cases, I might want to go third person, so I have a little bit more situational awareness. All right, we took down that drop pod. Let's retreat back up to one of the shield generators, which ultimately is our primary goal. We want to protect the shield generators that are actually protecting our SIN tower. Now, as I was saying earlier, SIN, or Shared Intelligence Network, is a critical part of gameplay in Firefall. This is how we share information between players. This is how we gain information about our enemies. You can actually think of it as kind of your fog of war. So if I were to bring up my world map, I would see that I have a lot of fog of war right now. It's because I don't have access to my SIN tower. But when I actually uplink or plug in, it's kind of like connecting to a local Wi-Fi network, and it's how you can share information about the going on in the area with your allies. So this shield is healthy, things are looking good here. I can go ahead and try to find where some of the other Chosen are. Right now we have about 22 different players in Copacabana right now. So we need all pulled together to help fight back the Chosen. In Firefall, we've spent a lot of time in our dynamic world event system. We really want the world to feel fresh and new and different every time you sign in. So based on time of day, time of week, or even time of year, you may have certain events happening. Now, not all events are actually aggressive, like this Chosen assault. Some of them might be even as simple as a vendor that shows up in the middle of the night that holds some special item you can only buy at that time. Others will be infestations down on the beach or out on the beach area. You don't fight them back, roaches will continue to spawn. They'll actually have their layers that will spawn more creatures, and eventually a boss will spawn that will require large numbers of players to fight them back. I'm currently going up against a dreadnought. This guy is really tough. He has a lot of health. He does a lot of damage with his plasma cannon. So I'm going to try to get in close and do a crater on him. And I missed it. That's what you get for live demos. I'm going to take this opportunity to run back to my spawn room where I have a battle frame station, and I can actually change to one of my other 3 battle frames. At PAX, we're showcasing 4 battle frames: the Assault, the Medic, the Recon, and our newly announced Engineer. So let me go ahead and hop over to our Engineer, since this is our newest battle frame, and showcase some of his strengths in a battle such as this one against the Chosen. That was the Forge. I'll go back to that later. Here we go, let's switch to Engineer. Now the Engineer, his strength is all about building and repairing mechanical deployables. So I'll go ahead and quickly call down my turret here. This turret is great for taking out these histers, but I gotta make sure that it stays healthy so I can repair it with my repair gun. Now one thing that's pretty cool with the Engineer repair gun is it doesn't require constant attention. I can quickly throw a heal to my deployables and they'll repair over time. This means I can continue to be more of a combat engineer. So there I've just repaired it, and now I'm fighting creatures as they're around me. Now obviously the turret is awesome by itself, but what if I can throw down a force field to protect it? So I can go ahead and figure out which way the enemies are most likely to come and throw down an energy-based force field in front of it.
The shield is ready.
As I level up my battle frame and I become stronger as a player, I gain access to higher ranked deployables. So I can actually go up to my turret and actually interact with it to upgrade it to a rank 2 turret. You'll notice I went from a single barrel weapon to now dual miniguns. These do massively more damage to any oncoming enemies, as well as having more health, so it's easier to defend and it can last longer in battle. I can actually upgrade my force field in all of my deployables as well. At PAX, one of the things we're doing that I'm really excited about is allowing players to actually sign in with their own accounts, create their own characters, and actually continue to play with those characters multiple times. So if I'd actually leveled up my Engineer more, I would gain access to higher level abilities and higher level equipment. One of the abilities we're showcasing at PAX is the Charge Pulse Generator. This is an Engineer deployable I can build at any place, any point, that actually charges up, and after 20 seconds of charging, it will actually deploy a charge, a massive pulse that will throw back enemies. So this is great in a competitive match if you're trying to keep enemies off of an objective, away from your computer terminal if you don't want them hacking your terminal, and it's a really great defensive deployable. Let me go ahead and hop back to the battle frame station where I'll change to our Medic. The Medic is another one of our battle frames in Firefall, one of my favorite. I can play as a support class and keep my allies healed and alive in the upright position. So I can do one of my abilities, Healing Wave, which I just healed all of those allies. I can also play offensively with such things as my Vampiric Beam. So my weapon alt-fire is customizable. I can change it up and actually drain health from enemies and heal myself in that course. I've got an ally down here. I could interact with him to revive him, which I'll go ahead and do now. But one of the Medic's special abilities is the Defibrillator, which allows me to instantly run up to someone, hit 2, bring him back to life so he's in battle quickly. He doesn't even have to wait for me to revive him manually. This is also great if you've got an ally who's down out in the middle of the open field that needs your help. I'll go ahead and switch to my secondary weapon. My Medic currently has the grenade launcher launched. Currently has the grenade launcher installed. This is awesome for blasting groups of enemies. It does a lot of splash damage. It's also great for me to stay out of harm's way. I can fire off grenades up and over barriers, so I can stay in a more of a defensive stance while also doing a lot of damage to enemies. Now this is a secondary weapon, and as with all of our secondary weapons, players can actually customize all of their battle frames with these weapons. So if I wanted to, I could be an Assault that has a grenade launcher as well as this plasma cannon. You may say that this doesn't really make sense because the plasma cannon does a lot of splash damage as well as the grenade launcher. So you may want to choose something like the shotgun, or the FAMAS, or the P90, or an assault rifle. But it's totally player choice. It's up to you. And you can actually go to the Forge and actually mix and match all of your equipment to really match your play style. And there we did it. We just rocked out the Chosen Invasion. It looks like we have won with a minor victory. We didn't destroy the dropship, but we lasted long enough to the point where the Chosen dropship will cloak and go away, leaving Copa safe for another day.